In today's episode of Wisdom Wednesday, we journey through the tapestry of life with Auntie Thea, a beacon of inspiration whose life has been shaped by the rhythm of her heartbeats and the dance of her dreams. From trials to triumphs, from streets of uncertainty to stages of enlightenment, her story unravels the essence of resilience, purpose, and the undying spirit of artistic exploration. Dive deep with us into the world of Auntie Thea. Hello there.
Hi.
Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday.
Wisdom Wednesday, I love it.
I am here with Theo Ulerie, better known as Auntie Thea. Thea has been a storyteller for years. We will talk about all that. But my first question to her, as we jump off, what one time, what led you to storytelling?
Oh God, again? I like to cut long stories short because I tend to be long-winded because I have so much in my heart and in my mind. But I jumped up and left my job. I let go the work because I was so fed up with the small salary. I was offered the position of senior secretary in the telephone company, which was a job created. And I waited for this job because the person I was going to work with left the job.
Right.
I think his name was Mr. Lukong. So Lukong gone, and I had to be looking hungry. So hungry. So I said, nah, this is nonsense.
Yes.
And I went to an agency, and I can't remember I don't know if I went looking for a job or how I ended up going to the agency, but that is history.
Yeah.
I went to work with a Jewish American company. They came to build a North European water treatment plant, and I went to work with him. I left my job and took a job for 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
And I ended up working with them for 3 years.
Wow.
At 2.5 times my salary.
Wow.
From the telephone. Fed up, and I walked out. They said, "You're mad." Oh, everybody thought I was leaving my good work. That was the best thing I ever did.
Right.
And when the agency called me and told me they had this job for 3 months, I told her I'm taking it.
Yes.
She said, "Are you crazy? You're leaving your job?" I said, "Yes, I am leaving my job." And I went and I stayed there for 3 years until they went back to Sarasota.
Right.
And that is how I left my job, and that is how then I decided, so I could open my own agency then.
Right.
So I called it. It was simple. I did a letter, beautiful letter. You think I'm in a office complex somewhere, upscale. And I made a lovely letterhead, and I wrote, my first client was NCB, National Commercial Bank. I left my job and I opened a placement service. So when I did that, I was doing very well. Excellent, because the arrangement was that if you want a secretary, you call me. I send you the secretary. I interview her and I got a little office space. Everything fell in place. I had a phone. I moved my phone. I had it was a beautiful office space, and I opened my agency. You want a job? You come to me. Word of mouth. And in those days, there were lots of people and very few jobs.
Right.
So you come to me, you want a job, you don't pay me anything,
Right.
but the bank pays me for you,
Okay.
a placement fee. So when the recession came, doors started closing in my face. I had
Right.
nothing. Everything.
What year what was that?
81, I think.
Right.
Everything just fell flat in my face. I said, my God, what am I going to do? Because I'm getting good money on a monthly basis. And then Helen Pear was the person in SB, maybe I shouldn't call her name. And I called Helen, I said, "Helen, you're not calling me." She said, "I don't know how to tell you this, Mrs. Ulerie, but we are no longer taking staff from agencies."
Right.
That was the end of my business. And then the doors just started to close. I had nowhere to go. I couldn't.
So this is the beginning of your story.
This is the beginning. I left my job and went to live with my great aunt because I had no home.
Right.
I took my son and my sister-in-law took my two older children. I went to live with my great aunt in Brazil Village.
Right.
And it was such a lovely, it was divine intervention.
Yes.
Her name was Serapia Ortiz.
Well, Serapia.
Serapia, my great-grandmother, was the first inhabitant of Brazil Village. Her name was Simferos. They say they came from Venezuela.
All right.
So the Ortiz was their name.
Right.
But of course, she came from Venezuela, so it was maybe a name given to her. However, she was the first inhabitant of Brazil Village, Simferos.
Right.
And then she had Serapia Agnes Wang, which is my grandmother, my great aunt. So I went to Tanti Finn's. Josefina was her name. We call her Tanti Finn. So I go on my Tanti Finn and I would give her her coffee and rub her foot. She used to have cold feet. And I took care of her so well, you know. And then I decided, okay, it's time to start going to change, look for something to do. And then I had I would say it's a vision that I should, it was based on Revelation 2. You have lost your first love. Repent and do the first work, or else I will remove your candlestick out of its place.
Oh, that is what...
That is what I knelt to pray.
And that is what you heard.
And when I heard that, I said, Lord, what is this? And I went searching. I walked in the street up and down. I used to walk the street in Port of Spain, leave Brazil Village, looking for what I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know what I was looking for, but I know that I had to do something. What is my first love? And then it came to me, it's the arts. But how I'll get into the arts? I don't know nothing about no art. Lester Ifibo Wilkinson told me, he said, how old are you? I said, I'm 35. He said, you have 35 years experience on the stage of life. I said, okay. And then I met Shango Baku.
Right.
And then I met Shango, and he said, I said, you know what? It's the arts. I will manage somebody. I will manage because I'm not a performer. And I went to Errol Blood Roberts. Wanted to do One Man and His Dog, a play.
All right, fine.
But it didn't happen. So Shango, I went back to Shango and I said, I want to do something. He said, well, I'm not doing anything. I want to manage. He said, no, so instead of me bringing him on board, he brought me on board.
Right.
And he invited me to meet his friend Shabaka, who was Vernon. He passed away. I don't want to cry, but it makes me feel sad.
Oh, so he really from your Genesis, your beginning, yes.
1986,
Wow.
85. That's when I met Shango. And Shango is that kind of person. No, he's very focused. Very, very sure of what he's doing. And I went to meet him, and that was it, girl. He was writing a part for me in the play called One Bad Casa. As the old lady. I was 80 years.
And so you had to really make up yourself.
And I was by my great aunt, so I wore her clothes.
Yes.
I said, look at me, who would have think I would have reached 80? Husband gone. Everybody gone, no children. It's me and my two nieces. And we going to Caranage for the day we going to go. I remember that man bringing us back in the taxi the day before school opened. Yes, that man used to bring us back in the taxi and they sleeping in the back of the car. So I used to put charcoal to look older.
Yes, because you were 35 then.
Yeah.
Acting as an 18-year
old lady.
Yes.
You see, and we went Shango was writing the part for me, and I didn't know that he was roping me in. People who
So coming out of that movement and that play that you had a role in, was that when you decided you wanted to do storytelling?
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't decide anything like that at all. So things just came upon me. We did a tour of London, inner London, and the north the North Midlands, Manchester, Birmingham.
So this
Liverpool,
play
Leicester.
traveled.
We traveled to London, Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, Leicester.
How long you all
We
stayed out there?
4 months and
Wow,
did
that is quite an
30
experience.
performances in 4 months. You know how much work that is?
A lot.
When we were leaving, Remy Capot of the Roundhouse, which is the biggest art centre in London, said, buffing up his people, you know, at our farewell, big party. From the party, we went straight to the airport.
Yeah.
Him. In English, I don't understand you. Look at them, they just came. They're not privileged, you're privileged. And he buffed them and said, look at what we did.
Yes.
We went all over the place, but we were lucky that we had a British exchange teacher who was assigned to Arima Senior Comprehensive on the Commonwealth Teachers Exchange.
Right.
And she saw us doing the play in a folk fair.
Right.
And she fell in love with the play, with the group, with everything. I invited her and I offered her a part in the play because it was an exciting play, you know. So I said, we have a part for you, know. He prompted me, Dame Penelope Fry. The party was robbed of a party in the play. And I have to play different parts. 1 minute I'm the old lady, then I have to run and put on makeup to be the secretary, a 2-bit secretary.
Right.
And my boss, the Rasta man come to see my boss. He said, look at you. I accuse I am minus and insulting me, and I'm vexed with him. And my boss comes out and says, look at you, You're always giving trouble, And he invites him to a party. So now I'm dressed up now as a girl in the party. So party and now how it happened, you know. So that play went on and we came back to Trinidad.
Right.
And I had nothing. I
was
back
back to
homeless.
nothing to do.
Almost homeless. I came home with some pounds. But then I had to find a newer place to live.
Oh, you went back in Brazil?
Right.
No, okay.
And my son stayed with a friend, and then I got an apartment, I brought him with me.
Okay.
You see, so he knew the play.
Yes.
You see, I don't know what made you. I went in and I tried. I said, I don't know what made you turn Rasta. You had a good education. I said, Tima, he was 4.
Yes.
I said, you know the play? He said, yes, it would prompt me. So when I went wrong, he was prompting me and giving me my lines. It was that intense. You know?
Right.
So then I went up to my great aunt and stayed until I got myself back on
so you went
feet.
back to her.
Yes. So I went up there, and then I got back in, came back, and I really had to find my way around. And one thing led to another. I got jobs. With my experience in administration, I got jobs and so on. And then I decided that, Dale Enoch called me for the I-95 to start the story. No, I had my project which I was calling the Story Box.
Right.
But or the Story Shop. I had the Story Shop, but he had the same idea to get me on the radio telling stories, and the program was the Story Box with Auntie Thea.
Right.
Hi, children, this is Auntie Thea inviting you to join me on I-95.5 FM for the Story Box. And then, bang, 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 the little jingle was Pop Goes the Weasel.
All right.
And I started telling stories on the radio.
Right.
And I created a CD, and it was, that's how I started telling stories. Because I always loved it. I always loved stories, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So your whole thing came out of it's such an interesting story. Yes. The way I'm seeing it, you following your mind because you were dissatisfied in your role.
I wanted something.
And you took
I knew
something.
Not what.
Yes.
I didn't know what listen, stories, I didn't embrace stories. I didn't embrace the arts. The arts kidnapped my tea.
Yes.
And carry me so. And says, there you have to go. Go there.
Right.
That's where I went. I went where I was
led.
It was a compulsion. I had to do it, you know.
So let's talk about the role you think that storytelling has to do with the culture
life.
and life and
You see,
shaping.
stories give us a sense. Or what I did too is I developed a methodology which I call P.P.V.S.
Personal positive value system.
Because I say to them, a value system to the children. And this is what we need in the world. This is what we need in our lives. I've seen it and I'm seeing it. Without a value system, people don't know what to do. They are
Adrift, yes.
Adrift, they're like a leaf. The wind blows the leaf. They're like the chaff, the Bible says that, like the chaff that the wind bloweth away. In its fury, we would add that.
Yes.
So that you you are not grounded. So I started this entire process, a methodology. I said, a value system is a set of principles that guide you in your day-to-day life activities.
Yes.
It helps you to determine what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Right.
So if you have a positive value system, then you can do positive things.
Yes.
And that's what people need. That is what it's like. I am working with a parent who came to me in distress. Her son is cussing, stink. And he wasn't doing that before. He is, as soon as he's entered secondary school. Mm-hmm. And he cussed her, and he cussed me. And I realized, this is what is missing. He didn't have the support. He didn't have the love. He didn't have the care. He didn't have the understanding, and he didn't have a value system. So he didn't know what to do and what not to do. And nobody helped him and showed him and gave him a path to walk on.
Yes.
So we don't only need to take care of the children and the young adult and give them skills, but we have also to do parenting workshops, as you would agree.
Yes.
You see? So that brought me to think of something to guide them along the way. You see, because how do they do it? They're miscreants and they're called names and so on. I'm not condoning what they're doing. But who gave them anything to really
be
go
different
through life? So
okay.
There's nothing, it's a vacuum, it's a void.
Use stories to give lessons and to point out.
I would prefer not to say lessons because I'm not a teacher, I'm a facilitator.
Right.
I want to facilitate your learning. Mm-hmm. I want to come to you, to show you, to point something to you and say, well, this is what is possible. And then I want you to take from that basket and feed yourself like I am not feeding you. You understand? Mm-hmm. Give a man a fish, and he's fed for a lifetime.
For the day, teach him to fish.
Yes. So I wanted not even to teach you to fish, but to lead you to the water so that you can go catch the damn fish yourself. Mm-hmm. Go catch the fish. You're going to eat. So the thing is, the meaninglessness. It's scary. It scares me because I felt it. The meaninglessness and the despair and the hopelessness that people feel Deirdre. Mm-hmm. That people feel in their gut, to their core.
Yes.
And the worst thing that could ever happen to a person is that they feel that there's no hope. The worst thing that could happen to a people is that there is no hope.
Yeah. And I suppose you were able to relate and lead people out because you had various times by then where you reached the edge.
Yeah.
And saying, where do I go?
Because in my marriage, I had a bad marriage. And it was an abusive situation. I mean, physical abuse and even. And not on one, but two. And then I said, no, this is a pattern. Mm-hmm. This is a pattern. I do like it. So why am I still put? I know you when I see you. Don't touch them with a 10-foot pole, certain individuals. Yes. You know you're going to have a miserable life. And yet still I'm going there because nothing that happens to us in life, we should not say thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. And the trajectory could be deep in a pit and
Yes,
up
so long
on a
as you're learning
mountain,
the
but you're
lessons.
learning the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so that is what the meaningless despair.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pit.
So have you actually seen like the effect storytelling has on
Of
adults
course,
and children's
of
lives?
course. Well, this is what transformed me. This is what I have
Yes.
seen. I did some workshops in Belmont Junior Sec.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to meet with these people, these young people, for about, it could have been a year or more, every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of each period, we would have a showing. A lot of different young people. And I met a girl who was in the workshop, and she said, "Miss, you give me everything. I go to America." I was so happy. These are the rewards. This is how I'm rewarded.
Yes.
It is not a fine, but it has been also financial remuneration.
Yeah, but the people
For me,
in
I mean.
yes, I understand.
Yeah, because I was empowered. It's self-empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
Empowering yourself, getting there, growing, and then self-empowerment and the empowerment of other people. You empower others through what you learn. So we go along with each other, we learn and we go together, learning together and growing together. But you know, there are certain serious signposts that you have to look at, because things like procrastination.
Yeah.
Boy, nobody could procrastinate like me. I still do it to a certain extent. Waiting, now I have the deadline. Listen to this song. Procrastination destroys a nation.
Okay.
Give the people pain and frustration. Thief your time and make you a pauper.
Yeah.
No reward for your son and your daughter.
Yeah.
And then I tell the children say, procrastination is a thief. A big thief. Procrastination is a thief. A big thief. Procrastination is a thief. A big thief.
Yes.
And we love
So that's their part.
Yes.
Yes.
Get them excited and I say, but that a man named King never do.
All right.
And he had real kingdom, riches galore, but what a problem.
Mm-hmm.
He always used to say he doing and do something, and he never did.
He never do. King never
So I
did.
tell this story about King Never Do, who would say he would do something, and he never did it.
Yes.
He never did it. But he had a servant called Lakatan.
What was his servant's name?
Lakatan.
Lakatan.
You know why?
What?
You see plenty Lakatan fig. You know, Lakatan sikie. All the fig, you know, our bananas, Lakatan sikie, silk fig, Grammy shell, all them
Yes.
fig. But he like Lakatan. He ain't like Grammy shell.
He's a Lakatan
He like
man.
Lakatan, like me, I like sikie. Anyway, ripe sikie. So Lakatan, he say, Lakatan. He say, yes, master. He said, bring me my royal palanquin. They used to carry the king. He would sit on there.
Oh, okay, that's it.
But I didn't call it palanquin. No. First, I think it was a rickety taker, old thing.
Yeah.
He say, all right, so he go on now for the thing, where we rickety take up on me. He say, so when he go on now, he making plans to visit his kingdom. I am going to increase agriculture. I'm going to put a lot of money into education so that the children could go and the library can see Auntie Thea tell the stories. I am good and all kind of plans.
Mm-hmm.
3 months back, he called him back. He said, Lakatan, he said, yes, ma'am. He said, I am not going again. My right big toe is itching. And when my right big toe is itching and jumping, it means something bad will happen. You say, what, master? He said, hush, I am a king. Look at me good. I is a king. And you is a servant. Go and get me that. And take away that. I'm not going again. 3 months passed. Lakatan, yes, and bring me my royal horse. Anyway, I'm going to visit my kingdom. He said, Lakatan, I had a dream that I will fall in the sea. He said, what, master? We are not going to pass by the sea. He said, look at me. I am a king, and you are, take it away, I'm not going again. And that went on and on and on until eventually, they get all. And Lakatan all. So he so good, Lakatan. He felt very remorseful. Very, very remorseful. He said, I'm sorry if I do that, yes. I should have been different. Look at how everything happened. And then he sat under a tree and he picked a fruit, but he didn't know that was the tree of wishes. And when you pick a fruit from the tree of wishes, your wish come true.
Yes.
So he bite the fruit, and when he bit the fruit, King Never turned into a golden ball of light. And he turned into a macaw. And he went all over the kingdom telling everybody, do it now, do it now, do it now.
Where did you get that story?
That story was an ancient story from India that I had a long time ago, but it was totally, adapted it totally. You know, I changed a lot of it. Yeah. And then, I write my own stories too. Not many. I did the first of the larger bless. Okay. This is to tell, so this is what I do. I'm about to do some writing. I really have to write. Because I'm saying things like procrastination is the thief of mind. Strike the iron when it's hot. Make hay while the sun shines. You know, so strike the iron while it's hot. And I would create a story based on that.
Yes, given the message of the necessity.
And the lesson is through the story. So this is the role of the storyteller. You see? So here in the Macau, the story originally was the Eagle King.
All right, fine. That's the one from India.
India. But because of the larger bless was one to show deforestation.
Okay.
You see? Yes. And this one was about a man who saw an eagle up in the mountain. And he tell his friend to have an eagle up in the mountain. And they went up in the mountain and they see the eagle and she preening herself and thing. And they say, well, we go pay it in occasion. People will come and guess up, we go get plenty money. Yeah? And you see, yeah boy, but the eagle wanted her freedom. So he shot the bird. The friend says, stupid, the goose that let you go, and then you kill it, is a stupid you are. Or you could kill the bird, is an idiot. So the bird had some eggs. So, 2 eggs, and out came one of the eggs, a little eagle, but they say they put a chicken to sit on it.
You're right.
So he thought he was a chicken, so when he came out, he said, oh, that I hear nice. And the next one, he was don't care. Let's call him don't care. And the other one was liberty. 2 eagles.
Oh, it's 2 of them that
chicken sack.
Right, the 2 of them.
So when Libertino was always looking up, and you know, so liberty, oh liberty, you are young, gifted, and free. Liberty, oh liberty, you have a great destiny. So he called him. The eagle told him, come up here. He said, I can't fly up there to fly. I can't check it. He said, stop using that voice. Dig deep in your belly and you'll find your voice. And he said, talk different. He said, spread your wings. He said, when he spread his wings, you could climb up to the tree. So he said, your mother is the queen of the skies, and your father is the king of the skies, and you have the power of kings and queens in your wings. Let's go on a journey. So he gone now, telling, don't care, let me go. And he say, me, I got the eye, he's scraping. I don't mind. So he wanted to stay on the ground and scrape with the chicken. And when he went, he flew safely over the mountain of oppression. He flew safely over the valley of injustice and the valley of injustice, the mountain of oppression, and he flew safely over the desert. Well, there's a short initial desert of mediocrity. To me, the worst one. The worst one, mediocrity. And when he went, the eagle took him on that journey, and then he took him to the edge and he said, "This is the valley of the kings and queens of the eagles, and this is where you will go." And he said, "Ooh," and he went down, and then he became a king for all the eagles.
Wow.
Because he knew that his mother is the queen of the sky.
He believed.
And his father, he knew.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just believe, he knew.
Mm-hmm.
To know. Yeah. The mother is the queen of the skies and your father is the... So I tell that story to try, it makes a difference.
Yes.
That story makes a difference because you see them.
At first, if I'm understanding the story correctly,
Mm-hmm.
he was nurtured in his formative years by a chicken.
Yes.
So he thought he was a chicken.
He
Parents
came
like
out.
yes.
He came out of
And it's the chicken that
Yes,
sat
yes.
on his egg.
Right. He was just left on his own. With the chickens fighting
Well, right.
for corn.
So he
yeah.
was nurtured by them because he thought he was a chicken. He
Yes,
saw
yeah.
their ways and things, you know.
But why I don't want to use the word nurtured
Mm-hmm.
is because I see nurturing as he was just left on his own. He was thrown out there, he and all the other chickens fighting for corn.
Right.
Right? They were fighting for corn at the bottom of the barrel.
So you say like okay,
Yeah.
if we want to bring
It's
that
a food mentality.
right.
That
So
is
if we
eating.
want to bring that, so isn't it a kind of wrong side kind of nurturing and is a sort of
Well, negative. If
Yes,
there is
it's-
such a thing, yes.
it's because
It
it's
is.
how you would
Yes, yes.
Because if we immediately, as you said, eat a food kind of thing, a lot of times we cannot quote unquote blame. I find this blaming
Yes, I
thing.
hate the blame.
Yes.
And I listen to the radio and get angry when I hear them talking.
Right. Because people cannot help but be what they
No,
are.
they can't.
So-
they are what they are.
Yeah, so what was the eagle's name in that state?
Liberty.
Liberty and
Follow
don't
fashion.
care.
Follow fashion was the real name that I gave you.
Yeah, but,
The other one, follow fashion.
not yeah.
Not whatever we just said.
Right.
Follow fashion.
Right.
Because he following
He
the crowd.
yes, and that in itself is not something that we should blame somebody for.
No. That's what I say to people. No.
Yes,
They
it is.
cannot be blamed.
It-
Who
it-
gave them? Who brought them up? Who
And
gave
it
them
shows
anything?
them the importance of the storyteller, and in this case, the eagle that encouraged him
Yes.
to think about something else, and he believed, listened, and they,
He believed in his heart.
yes,
And then he knew.
He knew because he tried it. Okay, somebody tell me I could spread my wings and I'm more.
Yes.
I didn't
that's
say
when
it
he
cannot
knew.
be done.
No.
I spread my wings.
Yes.
And I saw that
That
I
it can
could.
happen.
So,
It did.
So
It
right.
did.
That is when
I
the
did it.
knowingness.
And what I did, started to do workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Workshops. The aim was to show how teachers can enliven and enrich their current teaching techniques.
Through drama
Using
and storytelling. So
Nothing
do we
came out of
have
it.
continuity? No continuity.
No. You make a proposal and it's maybe put in number 10 file. The guy I used to work with now from the I said, Harry, what's in number 10 file? He said, there it is, the husband. And would you believe when I was going to Africa, I went to Nigeria, through Shabaka, who passed, my beautiful friend, God rest his soul, he gave me the contacts and the Ministry of Education at that time. Lincoln Douglas, I think, was the name of the minister. He liked cultural exchange with Nigeria. Nobody was bringing proposals. So I was lucky that way.
Yes.
And I got all the funding to go to spend 10 days in Nigeria.
Right.
Yeah.
And how was the experience?
Oh, it was wonderful.
You got an award. You were honored there.
Well, I was honored there, but it wasn't an award that no, that was a different award. That was
Oh, okay.
the fellowship.
Yes.
Yes, that was a guy called, a prince called Adewale, Prince Adewale, and he found that was such a wonderful, that the work itself that I was doing was so wonderful
Yes.
that he conferred a fellowship on me through I can't remember the name of the
Yeah,
institute.
finally.
It was one of the most prestigious.
So you went to Nigeria twice?
No,
or
no,
it
I
was
only
on
went
that?
once.
Yes.
But that was within recent times. I met Adewale while I was there.
Right.
And also this Prince or Ariwa Omoba. I can't remember her name. Her name was Adeyemi something. And Ariwa was here.
Mm-hmm.
She stayed here for several years, I think 2 years or a year.
Yeah, Avery Hammond
Avery brought her. And when she was going, I was able to unite two states. She was in I was in Ogun State and she was in Oyo.
Oyo, yeah. She was from Oyo. Her father was
the king. He passed.
Yes, the Oba.
And
yeah.
she came. I noticed while they were ushering us to the front, I found that was good. So it's because the princess, not knowing that they saw me as this, I was highly honored.
Yeah.
So I am sitting in the front as well. I thank God I'm going with the princess and thing, man. I hear the MC saying, and we have an international guest among us, and I want to introduce and call up to the stage when I hear Auntie Thea from Trinidad and Tobago. I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were going. And the pin, everything came into being because of a need.
So how do you choose your stories?
I decide I want to, I just choose a story. If I want to do a workshop, I say, okay, I'm going to give the children this today or that today.
Mm-hmm.
I have that whole menu there and I pick.
You choose something from it.
It's like the fruit. It's like the fruit that thing never do picked. You know, and
your wish.
Yeah, my tree of wishes. But I don't want to turn into the macaw.
What do you think of storytelling? But the macaw has, I remember one thing, the macaw has its purpose.
Yes.
Because Jump Low, his life had already gone.
Mm-hmm.
He had already wasted it away, procrastinating,
Mm-hmm.
and he wished it could be different.
Yes.
And the difference he was able to make is that he was able to enlighten other people
to tell everybody
and let them know of their
warn
experience.
Them. Yes.
And
it was a beautiful, it was symbolic.
Yes.
Beautiful, colorful, you know, even a vehicle, an instrument of learning, but a beautiful one in color, like your colors, our colors, your color.
Yes, so what I was about to ask you,
Ask me.
what do you see with the role of storytelling now? And because I know we have a great need.
It is a means of helping people to face and understand their problems and to see the potential, because we see, you see, drama and storytelling and all the arts is a reflection of life. Life is breathing in and out, but drama takes the breath away. You see? So we actually see the character over that screen. I remember in another workshop, this girl was like that. And when I asked her what is wrong after, she told me the story I told her. It's her story. Right. You see? But this one was a story too of Brother Booker saying, one night of pleasure brings a lifetime of sorrow. I was just being a girl. I didn't think of tomorrow. And we have this song we used to sing, I'm sorry, so sorry. Mm-hmm. Please accept my apology. I didn't know life could be so cruel. You didn't know that song? Yeah. Oh. And Brother Buckner would come and say, Keisha was a real player. Mm-hmm. She was a sharp girl.
Right.
Well, she had a one-night stand.
Yeah, she had.
And she ended up with HIV.
Right.
You see, so sometimes it touches the listener.
Right.
So that's how the story would reach you. You see yourself reflected. So stories, as I said, life is breathing in and out. But the story, takes the breath away.
Gives you that
and it
pause.
Gives us that, and not only that pause, but that inside chill, that thrill, or whatever it is to make you wake up. To wake you up. It wakes you up.
But what I was asking you...
And you see yourself, you see?
Yes.
And you see the
Do you think
ancestors.
our community, society has enough storytelling?
Not at all.
We don't have any...
It's emerging, though. It's emerging because
Yes,
I see
really.
certain things happening with...
the spoken word and the
yeah,
different
spoken
things.
word. Spoken
But
word.
is it out there?
Well, I like to call myself the keeper of the ancient stories. The keeper of the story. We have to guard. We have to keep the tradition. So I am seeing my role as the keeper of the stories.
Right. Do you have a favorite story?
No. No. But
Yeah.
I have a favorite character. Her name is Nita Tuki. How did I get Nita Tuki? I was doing something at Tunapuna Library. Nita Tuki, Auntie Dale Dolly was my childhood friend, is my childhood friend. She had a little preschool. And my son went to her preschool. And I was in the Tunapuna Library doing some work with them. And she brought her children with a preschool. It was a preschool thing. And a little girl, I asked her her name. Because Auntie Dale went to pick up some, she was living 1 street away from the library. So she brought the children in her car. It was only about 10 or 12 of them. And I asked this girl, I said, I'm taking their names. I said, what's your name? She said, Nita Tuki.
Nita Tuki.
Yeah. So I called Auntie Dale and said, Auntie Dale, what is Nita Tuki's surname? She said, Nita Tuki. I said, the little girl, her name is Nisha Duki. But she couldn't, I would love to meet Nisha Duki. You know, now she's a big woman. I said, so I called the character, my favorite character is Nita Tuki.
Yes,
because Nita Tuki was so sad. She was a sad princess. She didn't like anybody. She didn't like her mother. She didn't like her father. She didn't like school. She didn't like anything. She hated everything. Nita Tuki didn't like anybody. She didn't like herself. She didn't like rain. She didn't like food. She didn't like ice cream. She didn't like anything or anybody.
Oh, dear.
She was sad, so she was so she cried. I said, what would we do to make Nita Tuki happy? And then eventually they bring a man with some darn elephants on roller skates wearing pink
tutus. Elephants on
roller skates, and then some of them were dancing ballet, skipping around, and she said, I hate them. And they brought all sorts of things. Well, I make every story I make up different
things.
Jokes. And then eventually Nita Tuki took a walk in the real woods close to her house.
Yes.
Because she was a princess, right? So it's a big. And she's walking, and she said, Nita Tuki. Who like calling my name? I don't like nobody to call my name. Nita Tuki. I stop calling my name. I don't like nobody to call my name. I don't like my name. I don't like nothing. I don't like nobody. Nita Tuki. So when she started hearing Nita Tuki, she started feeling
a little stir.
And then all of a sudden she started to laugh because it was the wind who was calling her name.
Oh,
Nita Tuki. The river was calling her name. So I do it for the children, make them cry, and then they laugh. So that we could really, it's stress release too. And then eventually Nita Tuki realized that she didn't need, she had 100 pair of shoes and 100 dresses and 100 bags to match. And the father could buy 100 more. And she had bikes and she had her own Coney Island. And everything a child could want. And then Nita Tuki realized that you don't need any of these things to be happy. You just have to be yourself.
Yes, because they won't make those things.
They won't make you happy. So you have to go inside. There's a you inside of you that you meet.
Happiness is a choice,
and joy. So you find your joy from inside. Don't look out there. There's nothing out there.
This digital age, how do you see the importance of traditional storytelling? And
well, it's good that it can be recorded and also like what we are doing here.
Yes.
Yes, so that I think it enhances, it is an instrument of mobility, upward mobility for the arts. It can also be, of course, as an instrument of destruction, depending on how it's used, as we know. But in the age of technology, yes, it gives us a lot of.
Do you think that the powers that be could make use of the art of storytelling in a different way and be
course.
Yes?
But would they listen? You see, would they understand? Would the institutions of power that are set up for what for disbursement of the funding and so on? I don't make proposals anymore.
Right.
No. I want to acquire a piece of land, though. State land. I want to apply for a piece of state land to start up storyland.
Right.
You see? So that we can have different, big events that can draw people to that space, and then we might find how they have the big cartoon characters. We could have Anansi. We could have all the different.
Yeah, well, we have so many folklore characters. Also,
so that people can come and hear the story, but they can also see the characters moving around.
And for us to be able to use these stories to know that, listen, change is what happens.
Yes.
What we have to do.
But this is what we had. This is where we were.
And what we have to do to preserve who we are.
Who we are.
As you said earlier, comes from inside. It's not out there.
No.
So we have to remember the stories, remember our various spiritual teachings and the things to hold on to give us sustenance.
The traditions
and that
and the values and principles that were embedded within those traditions, you see. Because that's how we learned.
So what kind of advice would you give, like, not only, potential story teachers, just...
I would give, what should I,
Yes.
What would I say to potential story teachers?
Yes,
I would say to potential story teachers, dig deep, find, look in different, under the rock, rock nooks and crannies.
Story.
And find the things that would inspire you.
Yes.
And also know of the ancestral stories. My great aunt, and she wasn't my mother's sister. We knew her as Auntie Mena.
Yeah.
Auntie Mena used to tell us the stories, but in the night, she used to drag a chain around the house. She used to take a chain and drag it around the house. Because the Lagahoos drag the chain. So when she tells the story about the Lagahoo,
she going
to sleep. So when I go to spend holidays now with my cousin Susan.
But she trying to frighten her.
Yeah. So Susan, I said, Susan, you hear the Lagahoo? She said, yes, dear, I hear the Lagahoo. And she would drag the chain. So that's the kind of animation. I would like to animate some of my stories.
Yeah,
that's my dream, to animate Storyland and animate the story. The only funding that I was able to get substantially was given by Republic Bank. Over 2015 to 17, but almost killed me in the process because of course you can't, there's a lot I alone can do because I can't pay an administrator. 16 or 20, not even 16, much more than that. $30,000 a month to do my administration. So I have to do a lot of things myself. But at least it was the only time from 1984 when I started, or 85 when I started, to 2015 to 17. They gave us all the funding we needed. We went to schools, communities, workshop, festival, tree planting. It was called Project Aware. A wonderful and rare earth.
That is what Project Aware.
Yes, and it was the aim of Project Aware was to sensitize people to the need for preservation and conservation of the environment
Wow.
and ways and means of doing that. So we had tree planting and we went to school. It was lovely. But after that, I decided, let me rest.
What
I
about
did
the Rise and
Fascinating.
Shine?
Yeah.
What about the Rise and Shine workshops? Where's the
Well,
philosophy
those
behind
Rise
that?
and Shine again. It is based on P.P.V.S.
Yes, your
You see,
personal.
rise and shine. So as I rise and shine like a diamond in the sky, and fly like an eagle, so high, so high. So it is really giving children a sense of self
Yes,
in the word,
yes.
and helping you to understand that you
Personal
are
positive
brilliant.
values.
You're a
is-
diamond.
Yes.
Rise, arise.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it started with a song. I was inspired by Isaiah 60 verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee.
Yeah.
And I was singing it like that, and I found it sounded so churchical and religious and boring, which would most people would find it boring. So it's a arise, shine, for thy light is come. I said, something else. So I said, arise and shine, for the time has come to celebrate the glory of the people of tomorrow. Arise and shine, for the time has come to celebrate the rising of the children of today. So I have a whole song that I wrote
Right.
that I think now is the time for me to produce that song and take it into different communities. The song could be a hit. Yeah.
Right.
Come my people, then for the bridge, there's a bridge. Come my people, don't delay. Let's begin to pave the way. It's the dawning of a brighter day for the people of tomorrow. They're the future of the planet, the hope for a better world. They're the seed and flower of the earth, more precious. It's a chorus song, it's a choir song, it's a rap song. So I could get a saying for the bridge. I could
Rallying
get people,
song,
I
yes.
could get people like Atta Clan and David Rodin and all these people working,
yeah.
and we could produce that song. So that song too can be like, I want one of my dreams too is to have community choirs.
Yes.
I think singing is a wonderful thing.
What
Final word?
yes, that you would like for of wisdom as relates to storytelling
Wisdom.
or anything that you want.
Wisdom. I would want to say wise mind. I feel people are angry. People are hurt. People are hurting. They're angry. Why is this national anger in so many of the youths? There's anger, a burning anger, so that there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of anger. And we as elders have to, as a nation, I would say about my nation, compassion, empathy,
Yes.
caring,
Yes.
and helping out and understanding that these young people are troubled.
Yes.
Some young people are troubled. So let's have more empathy and let's have more compassion among ourselves.
Yes.
I think so. That's what we need. We need compassion. And you see, the talk show culture is dangerous. Huh? People are led in hordes. So that compassion and empathy, we can end on that.
Yes. Yes. That's a good note to end on. Thank you
Thank you
so
having
much.
me.
Yes.
Oh gosh, girl. Deirdre.
It's a long way, yes.
Deirdre, we go a long way.
Yeah.
But I have to say to you that Wisdom Wednesday is it for me. I love it.
Okay.
I think
thank you.
it's such a needed concept. Having developed that concept, concept is everything.
Yes.
Concept is everything.
So together we would
You
make
have
sure
done
it
it.
reach out there for people to think differently.
No, but having devised and developed and nurtured this concept, you are taking it into spaces where it is badly needed.
Ashe,
Yes,
ashe,
you?
amen.
Ashe.
Yeah. May it be so.
Thank you.
So on that
Modupe.
note, yes, much thanks.
Bye.
So on that note, folks, goodbye.
See you.
We have traversed through the chapters of Auntie Thea's life today. Each chapter echoing lessons of valor, introspection, and authenticity. Her narrative is a testament to the power of persistence and the magic that ensues when we return to our true calling. As we conclude today's Wisdom Wednesday, let us carry forward Auntie Thea's message. In the heart of challenges, the soul finds its song. Until next time, keep listening, keep reflecting, and keep embracing the stories that shape us.